Okay. Sound should be on, should be all good. Alright. With or without glasses, that's the question. Do without glasses, I don't like the glare. Film school taught me adequately. I just wish I had a better set. Got my altar, but that's lighting setup is temporary because this is shit. Hi everyone, this is Dark Spade here. Some of you may know me from TikTok as Dark Spade or the Devil's Advocate. And if you followed me there from TikTok, welcome. If you are an old subscriber and just realized I uploaded after like 4 years of being quiet, hi. My name's Lucas, Dark Spade, Devil's Advocate. You guys know the drill, I literally just said it. But this channel is an extension on what I'm doing on TikTok and just my brand in general. And that is talking about black magic, my black magical experiences, dark magic, Satanism, Luciferianism, demonology, etc. Because I don't have a super set title for myself because I feel like titles are very limiting. I feel like it kind of cuts you off from the rest of possibilities out there in the universe. But for, you know, all intents and purposes, I guess the best way to describe me is a demonologer or a black magician. Some people don't like black magician. I prefer black over dark. I just think it sounds cooler, truth be told. But I figured I'd start off this channel right by starting off with who I am and what got me into the practice and how long I've been doing it, etc., etc. Because I haven't done that on TikTok, and I figured, well, YouTube gives me about a 15-minute time slot to do it, and I've already wasted 2 of those minutes, so let's get this going. So I started off in black magic, not even black magic, I just started off with magic in November 2016. So I have been a magician for about 3.5 years. When it comes to stage magic, I've been a magician since 5 years old, but that's a completely different spectrum of magic. In this case, esotericism, mysticism, darker arts, I suppose we could call it, about 3.5 years. So what got me on the track for this was, I remember it was Black Friday of 2016. And I always like messing around in Barnes & Noble, so I was actually going to go there to look into the Satanic Bible, because I was not religious at all. I had no religious affiliation, I did not give a crap about religion, period. But I heard at the time that apparently the Satanic Bible is far more about philosophy and about all these other things of like standpoints, and it was atheist. So I'm like, okay, that sounds fun. I found the Bible, but next to it was a book that caught my attention far more. And I ended up going home with that, and that was the Necronomicon. This was the first book I got on Magic. This was the first book that I ever actually bought out of my own just will. I was never a big reader. I was never into like sitting down. I was not good at reading storybooks, not because I couldn't read, because it just didn't appeal to me. But I took home this bad boy that night, and I was unsure if I actually wanted to buy this. I'm like, this is cool, because I bought it because I was in art school at the time, going to school for filmmaking, and I was like, I could totally use this for films. This looks metal as shit, and I'm going to see what I can find. Maybe it'll give me some inspiration. I read this motherfucker in about 24 hours, like the whole 300-something pages. No, not 300, like, it's usually around 250, 300 if you count the preface, which I did also read. And I was in over my head. I didn't understand a single thing I was reading or looking at, because this was my first book. I had zero experience before reading this. Right. And that really was the snowball effect that put me onto the path of black magic and esotericism and what have you. Because, funny enough, for Christmas that year, my brother got me the Satanic Bible, so best Christmas gift ever. So what I liked about the Necronomicon in this regard was that I you know, looking into it, like, I now know this is a mix of ceremonial magic, of Western ceremonial magic of Sumerian mythology, Lovecraftian overtones, and a little bit of Greek stuff in there too, which, being a Greek, that was pretty cool. But I read through this book like 3 times before I was like, okay, I want to practice this. I want to try this out. However, it's not a beginner's text at all. So that was the perfect incentive in order for me to try to figure out, okay, how do I work up to it? And then the Satanic Bible, I was an atheist Satanist for a month and a half. And I was in it for the rituals. I was in it not only for the rituals and the magic, but for the aspect of, like, independence and such things. That really rang true with me. But then, after that, I realized it's not really into the whole atheist doing the magic for psychodrama thing, because, like, psychodrama is a big part of my magic today. But I thought that the LaVeyan approach was a bit too limited, and I also figured out that he plagiarized the whole damn thing, so it was like, no. So I was like, okay, what next? After that, I knew that the Necronomicon preface and the Satanic Bible were both bashing this thing called Wicca. So I was like, okay, let's look into Wiccan ideologies and other such things. I picked up a book by, I think it was a green book. It's back there somewhere. No, it's over there. Doesn't matter. It was a green book. It said Wicca. That's all it said. And it was like the guide to solitary Wiccan or whatever. And I forgot the name of the book, but... And I read it, and I was like, this is way too fluffy for me. I don't... Like, you have to have a goddess and a god. It has to be feminine. This is how you have to do it. I'm like, no. No. See, that's what I liked about the satanic aspect, is that it was free range. It was your call at the end of the day. And that's kind of what I figured out, kind of left me down the left-hand path as opposed to the right-hand path and those such things. So, after looking at Wicca, I'm like, no. I like the whole herbal craft stuff of it, of doing the spells, and I like the ideology of the Satanic Bible, but this isn't what I'm looking for to get into the Necronomicon. I feel like these are not going to suit me properly to get to that point. So then, after that, I looked into Modern Magic by Donald Michael Craig. I looked into Enochian, like, ceremonial light magic, and then they're like, do not practice black magic. I'm like, come the fuck on, man. So, therefore, I like the ceremonial performance aspect of it, because, I don't know if I mentioned this in this take, but I went to school for film and acting, and I've always been an actor, and that kind of rings true with me. So I was like, oh shoot, cool. Don't practice with the dark? Fuck you. So, out of 3 failures in a row of what I was looking for, I tore open the internet trying to figure out there's got to be some form of demon-type magic. I found the Goetia through the ceremonial magic output, but it was all Christian-centered, and it was very abusive to the demonic, and I'm like, I feel like that would put me in more trouble than it's worth. And seeing all the stories about the Goetia and all these people having terrible experiences because they're using these childish-like invocations and evocations, I was like, yeah, best not. So, and it wasn't until I found, just tearing through the internet of, like, what the heck to find, that I found Saint Mason's book, the Draconian Ritual book, and this was exactly what I was looking for. It was black magic. It was demon magic. It was kind of that independence type perspective, but it also went into a myriad of mythologies, and it worked on this thing called the dragon and the serpent, as, of course, the Draconian Ritual book, those that practice this path. It was fiery. It was fast. I knew from my astrological chart that my 3 primary signs are all fire. I am a very fire-based being, I suppose we could say. And this was the launch pad that put me in the direction of black magic and dark magic. So whenever anyone says, hey, do you recommend me a book, I will always give them this first and foremost, because it helped me. I feel it can help them. St. F. Mason's a wonderful author, so that is kind of the gate which led me to what I was looking for. And I forgot about the Necronomicon for a while, because I was so focused on actually what I was wanting. So my camera has a 10-minute time limit. Anyways, I forgot about the Necronomicon for a while because I was focused on what I actually wanted to do, which was black magic, demon magic, that's what I learned I was called to the most. And it makes sense considering in the Arilla text, the part I was drawn to the most in the Necronomicon. The Arilla text was what I was drawn to the most. Let's try that again. When that has to do with the abominations and the ancient ones and the demonic side, the darker side of the book. So that just made sense. And it's really been just up from there. I was studying research. I studied like a whole year into the demonic path before I even went onto the altar and figured to do stuff. My first spell was a curse. And my first spell was from the Satanic Bible back in my college dorm. Curse went well. That much I know. I did a love spell. That's how I learned not to do love spells. And then from there, it's just been crazy. The 22nd year of my life. How old I am now. In April, this month, I will be 23. But that was the craziest year. I met a lot of people I've come to love, a lot of people I've come to hate. A lot of great experiences, a lot of terrible experiences, a lot of terribly great experiences, and a lot of greatly terrible experiences. So, just within that 1 year alone, I've had some crazy topics, which I'll probably get into more on other videos. But I'm doing this to kind of talk about topics that the 1 minute time limit on TikTok does not allow me to talk about. And that's kind of a look onto how I got started in my craft. I'll probably make more videos about my past and history. Right now, I'm working on a demonic path working. That's all I can say as far as I'm concerned. As far as I know about, it's not recorded in any way whatsoever, so this is new ground from what I can see, and let's hope it's worth it. I think it's going to be. Thank you so much for watching. For now, I'm going to keep this at the 15-minute mark as best as I can. Patreon, TikTok, Instagram, might even do Twitter, Facebook page, all will be in the description. So, yeah, love you all, and I'll catch you on TikTok, or I'll catch you here later. So, hope you all have a good one. Obviously, Thomas.